Myth and ritual. Why rituals persist. Birth, marriage, death. Welcome to Science Decoded, a space where we explore how ancient myths, rituals and wisdom still live within us today. Here, we don't just look at the past, we decode it so it speaks to the life we live right now. Think about it. From the moment we are born until the day we leave this world, life is marked by rituals. At birth, a whisper of mantras in the ear. At marriage, fire as witness to vows. At death, the river carrying ashes towards infinity. Why do rituals persist? Even in an age of science, even when many dismiss them as old traditions, why do we still return to them in our most vulnerable moments? To answer this, let's travel through myth, scripture, and psychology. Part 1. Birth, the first rituals. When a child is born in India, the first sound often heard is not just the cry of the newborn, but the chant of sacred mantras. The Jatakarma ritual whispers prayers into the baby's ear. May you walk in dharma. May your life be blessed with knowledge. Why? Because birth is more than biology. It is entry into the cosmic order. In the Mahabharata, when Abhimanyu was born, he was not seen merely as a child, but as the carrier of destiny, the one who already knew the secrets of warfare from the womb. Even Krishna at birth was surrounded by ritual. Vasudeva carried him across the Yamuna under divine protection, marking the beginning of a life guided by dharma. In modern psychology, rituals in birth provide something profound: belonging. They remind parents and community that this life is not random. It is woven into a larger story. So when a priest chants mantras, when a grandmother lights a lamp, it is not superstition. It is society whispering, "You are not alone. You are part of us and part of the divine order." Now picture a wedding. Two people walking around a sacred fire, 7 steps together, promising loyalty, respect and love. Why the fire? Why the mantras? In the Mahabharata, marriage is never just romance. It is alliance, responsibility and dharma. Draupadi's marriage was marked by fire, symbolizing that every union is not just two individuals, but two destinies merging. Even Krishna himself, in guiding Arjuna, emphasized that partnership is sacred only when it is aligned with dharma, not just desire. Psychologically, rituals in marriage create anchors. The fire is not just fire, it is memory. Couples remember, we promised in front of this flame. The 7 steps are not just steps, they are reminders. We agreed to walk together in health, in hardship, in growth. Even today, in an age of dating apps and contracts, couples return to ritual. Why? Because marriage is not only a legal bond, but an existential leap. Ritual makes it tangible, memorable, sacred. Without ritual, love risks fading as just emotion. With ritual, love becomes anchored in community, memory, and meaning. Now, the hardest part, death. When Bhishma lay on the bed of arrows in the Mahabharata, his death was not sudden, it was ritualized. He waited for the right cosmic moment, the Uttarayana, the northward journey of the sun. He chose to leave not in despair, but in rhythm with the cosmos. When Krishna left his mortal body, it was also marked by transition, not an end, but a return. In Hindu rituals, when someone dies, we light the pyre, chant mantras and offer the body to fire and the ashes to water. Why? Because death is not seen as disappearance, it is crossing. Ritual makes that crossing visible, for the living who mourn and for the soul with journeys on. Modern psychology tells us grief is unbearable when it feels meaningless. Ritual gives meaning. Lighting a lamp, chanting a prayer, scattering ashes, these are acts of closure. They tell the living, it is painful, but it is sacred. The story continues. This is why, even in hospitals, even for families who call themselves modern, the moment of death is often followed by ritual. Because science explains how we die, but ritual helps us accept why we live and why we must let go. So why do rituals persist across time, across culture, across generations? Because rituals are bridges. At birth, they connect us to belonging. At marriage, they connect us to partnership. At death, they connect us to transcendence. Krishna in the Gita said, "Whatever is done with sincerity, with faith, that becomes sacred." Rituals persist not because people fear God, but because people long for meaning. They are not chains, they are mirrors, showing us that life is not just a series of random events, but part of a larger rhythm. And when rituals lose meaning, that's when Krishna's words matter. The ritual is not in the fire, but in the intention. Not in the ash, but in the awareness. So the next time you attend a birth ceremony, a wedding or a funeral, pause. Ask yourself, what story is this ritual telling? What bond is it creating? What meaning is it anchoring in our hearts? Because rituals are not relics of the past, they are the language of the soul. They remind us that life begins and ends in biology, but it is lived in meaning. Birth welcomes us, marriage binds us, death releases us, and ritual carries us through them all. This is Science Decoded, where we uncover the ancient rhythms that still guide our modern lives. If this touched you, share it with someone who questions the why behind rituals. Because understanding them is not about blind faith, it is about seeing how deeply human we are.